All right, for those of you new to the channel, we interview people with superpowers and we have our own healing journey that we take people on. And in today's episode, we're going to share one of our oldies but goodies.
Okay, so here's today's spiritual superpowers replay. Enjoy.
To another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. I'm Dawn, this is Caron, and today we are super excited because we are joined with Shona Lauzon
From Ravenhearthealing. Shona is a new decision therapist, a Reiki master and instructor, a meditation instructor, and earth medicine practitioner.
Thank you so much for coming, Shona.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I was living in Toronto at the time, and I was, like, just to give you all the gory details, I dated every jerk in Toronto. Every single one. If there was a jerk, I dated him. And I was like, I was in my 30s. I said, like, what's going on? I dated nicer guys in high school than I was dating later. So I had a friend who had told me about new decision therapy, and I said, okay, this sounds interesting. It's a process of forgiveness and compassion and understanding to help you let go of unresolved guilt, anger, and regret. I wasn't sure where it was going to lead, but I said, I have to do something. I'm really not happy. As happens, I went to this practitioner, and the person that I ended up needing to forgive was in fact my mother. That, and isn't it always your mother? The reason I was at the root of my relationship problems was something around my relationship with my mother. And it literally changed my life. This session where I was able to genuinely forgive my mother and let go of all this stuff that I've been carrying around all my life. It's like I unpacked all the cells and it came out of the part of my body that had been holding on to it, and the veil fell and I felt alive in a way that I hadn't been before. And that really started me. I've always been curious about energy and, esoteric things. Kid, I played with tarot cards and I did all of that, but this just opened a whole new window for me. And shortly after that, I trained with my sister to be a Reiki master. I fell in love with a wonderful man and was able to, he was living in Caledon, and I moved up here, and I worked in the corporate world for many years in Calgary, which is my hometown, and then in Toronto. So sorry, I'm giving you like sort of the twisted, windy road, but it is the twisted, windy road.
Right, it always is.
It always is. I know many women especially get to a point in their lives where their corporate work, it wasn't satisfying me. I was spending hours commuting in and out of Toronto. I had 2 young children that I hardly ever saw, and I wasn't happy, and I didn't know how I got there, how I got to this point in my life where I was so unhappy and I felt trapped in this job and this sort of lifestyle. I had a very good friend say to me, Shona, life isn't something that happens to you. Like, you are in the driver's seat.
Right.
And you get to decide what road you're going to take. And I wasn't expecting this from this friend. I thought we were just meeting for a drink at Milestones, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. like, the clouds party. Oh.
Yeah.
And like literally, yeah.
Over a Bellini.
Yeah. You're just like, oh my gosh. Like, thank you. So from that moment on, I gave up my corporate career and the income that went with it, and I found a job locally, and I could walk my girls to the bus and put them on the bus, and I was there to get them after school, and all this time opened up in my life, and I had what mattered. I knew that I had what mattered. I didn't have the things that I had been led to believe were important, by the culture. I had what mattered, and I was able to slow down and finally hear my own inner voice and inner wisdom, which said, you want to be a healer. You want to help people. you have this other skill over here that you've sort of put on the back burner, and this is what's really calling you, and I can finally hear it. And so then just slowly over several years, I just dismantled more and more of my old life, just took the risk and the leap, and I started my business, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
That's good.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm finally doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that nothing's wasted, that all the experiences I had before in the corporate world and with my family and my daughters and all of that was important. It was all part of the process.
Very good.
And sometimes you have to, get to a place where you're very unhappy, almost hit rock bottom, make the change. But if you didn't have that phase in your life, you wouldn't appreciate the next phase quite as much.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And really be able to be grateful for what you do have or the risk you did take, right? You realized you took a risk. It's a risk to change your life or to try something totally different.
And that actually brings up a question that I have, and I don't know the answer. Maybe you guys can tell me your opinions on it, but I was in my 30s when I made all the changes as well. And, I knew that calling was there. I had it for decades. I just ignored it because I focused on what the shoulds are. So, but would it be possible for someone in their 20s to avoid that path of learning what you don't want in order to
Interesting.
go, like, can you skip it, or is that a really important piece? Like, that's what I kind of wonder, like, for our viewers, if we have younger viewers, it would be great if they could, just embrace who they are and follow their path right off the bat. But I wonder how much that other element actually is a big role.
Yeah.
It was
Just want to make sure.
Matthew McConaughey that actually came
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he has this little YouTube video.
Milestones and Matthew McConaughey.
This is definitely
That's how it
happens. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey has this thing on YouTube where he kind of explains the midlife crisis and the point of it, that you don't know what you want until you know what you don't want.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that phase is important, right?
Well, it might even be inevitable. Like the question, can you kind of bypass it, or can you embrace it sooner than your 30s or 40s or 50s? And you probably can, but I think when you're younger, like a teenager and into your 20s, you're still trying to figure out how you fit, right? How do I fit into the world and the culture and the expectations of my parents and the expectations that I go to university or I, get a job and like, so they're still trying to work that out. But I do think it's possible for some really aware or self-actualized 20-year-olds to reject it all, to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to follow my bliss, or I'm going to do this thing that's really important to me, and I don't care what.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, and some of them do.
So
I'm
if you're
sure.
a teenager or in your early 20s and watching this, you just go right to bliss.
Yeah, you don't have to do it the long, hard way.
And if you did go right into bliss, I would love for you to make a comment below and let me know what it was like, because our stories are that of a different road.
Yeah.
So
For
yeah, I'm
sure.
kind of curious. Hopefully, you can just go right to bliss.
I think so.
Well, how would our viewers get in touch with you if they wanted to reach out for some of your treatments?
So they can definitely reach me by email, which is ravenhearthealing@gmail.com, or visit my website, ravenhearthealing.ca or .com. And I have, if they want to know more about me, I also offer a free 20 to 30 minute consultation call where we just talk and find out what they're interested in or what their needs are, and just make sure we're a good fit. And I'm happy to do that too.
Great. And we will be sure to include that information in the description below.
Thank you.